So this is the Pong tutorial for Construct 2. It's going to be split into some parts to show its setup. I'm going to try and avoid sitting on my microphone switch to switch it off today. So to start, we need to create a new project. So go to File and Construct 2, click New, and click New Empty Project. Press Open. Okay, so we want to change our window size to 640 by 480, like so, and we need to obviously name the project. I already called mine Pong when I made this before, so I'm just going to call mine Pong underscore tutorial. Okay, so we get an event sheet and our layout page as well. Okay, so everything is fine currently. Let me check. Oh, also on your project section here, click on layout 1. You also want to change the layout size to 640 by 480. As well. So if we change the layout size to 640 by 480, there we go. So this is now our window. Okay, so next thing we want to do is we want to start adding our paddles and our ball into this scene. So to do that, you double click anywhere in your layout tab, layout 1, and just double click anywhere in this scene. So double click, and you can state what you're looking for in this option, and we're looking for a sprite. So if you type it in, press enter, it will come up, and then you just double click again into here and it brings up the image editor for that sprite. So what we want is a box. So with the fill bucket tool selected, which is just here, you can pick any colour you want. I'm going to go for blue, and just click anywhere in here, and it makes that whole area blue. Okay, so that is good for now. However, I want to rename this sprite. I'm going to rename it left paddle. Okay, so we're going to scale this paddle down. Just drag in the corners. I'm going to also do that as well to get to the appropriate size of what the Pong paddle would normally look like. Okay, got a bit of a deformation in the middle there by the looks of it. Let me have a look. So to zoom in, you hold Control and zoom. Okay, so I'm just going to delete the sprite because it seems like there's a weird section in the middle. As you can tell, I'm not an art person. So double click again. I'm just going to click sprite this time, and this is where you can change the name. So left paddle, like so. Double click. I'm going to keep it blue. I'm going to click in there. Make sure these are okay. The collisions, yep, they're fine. Do that. Okay. So I don't have the weird deform anymore in the middle of it. That could have messed about with collisions. Okay, so we have that. Now there are a few ways we can add the other paddle. We can copy and paste, Control C, Control V, and then we just click anywhere again. It's generated a left paddle. However, you'll notice it hasn't added a new object. But obviously we want another object so we can identify what's the left paddle and what's the right paddle. So we can do that. So double click new sprite and call it right paddle. And as before, double click again, and I'm going to change the colour of this one. I'm going to make it red. In there, and there we go. Make sure it's the same size. You can do that by just checking the size of this object, so that would be the size, so I can just copy that and paste that size into here, like so, and just position it the opposite side, like so. Okay, one more object we're missing, and that is our ball. So we just double click, sprite, and call this ball. Press insert, okay, and double click. Obviously we want this ball to be different, we want it to be a circle, so we need to create a ball shape. Okay, to do this, we set the size of this brush right here, so we click on the brush and we set the size of it like that. So let's change this to 100 and change the colour. I'm going to make it black. So okay, so that brush has made our sprite. Obviously we can change the size of it in here as well, and flip it and rotate it if we want. Going to change the angle to 90, and I'm just going to shrink it in the corner till I get my desired height. There we go. Change that up a bit. Okay, so in the next part we are going to set up the behaviours of the ball as well, so it can bounce and create some boundaries. Actually, before we go on to the next part, we'll create the boundary now. Okay, so double click again, another sprite, and call this boundary. Okay, and I'm going to change this yellow. It doesn't matter what colour you make it, because you're not going to see the boundary. Make sure you get the fill area back in, click on there, click off, and there's boundary. So the boundary wants to be just below your game screen. Okay, you can make it as thick as you want, it is up to you. Okay, so if you've ever played Pong, obviously if the ball hit the bottom, it would bounce up, or if the ball hit the top, it would bounce down. We don't need to make another option for the boundary like we did for the left paddle and right paddle, as there will only be ever one instance of a boundary. So we can just copy and paste that like so, and make sure it's in position just outside that white box as well. Okay, that's our boundary set up. So in the next part, we shall go into the behaviours of the ball. Okay, thanks for watching.